Welcome to A Course of Love. This is a review of chapter 13 in the third treatise, and the title of this chapter is No Loss but Gain. Now that we've remembered our true identity, we can concentrate on our new purpose. And the new purpose is the miracle that will allow you to exist as you are in human form. In other words, as you truly are, only you will represent that in human form. The biggest challenges to this come during extreme times of pain or pleasure. And this, of course, has been common knowledge throughout all of spiritual history. The Buddhists talk about avoidance, that whole spectrum between avoidance and desire. And you may fear that pleasure will end. Like, this is really great. I'm having a really great time now, but I hope it lasts. Or fear that pain will never end. And often when we find ourselves in situations where we're experiencing pain, it just feels like this is it. This is what life's going to be like from now on. So notice that it's fear that we're reacting to, whether we're clinging or whether we're running away from something, resisting it. It's fear that's the cause for the action there. And anytime fear is present, you are not dwelling in the peace of God. So even when you're clinging to the bliss that you love, it's fear. That's why you're clinging. So it becomes really important for all of us who are doing this work to watch ourselves, watch when we cling and watch when we resist. I mean, that becomes the dance that we're doing at this stage of the game, so that when we catch ourselves clinging or resisting, we can recognize it and we can drop those phenomenon. At these times, it's hard to trust the benevolence of the human experience. And it feels like God is outside ourselves. So when you're in bed suffering from the flu like this woman, it's hard to think, yay, this is all for my highest good. It's kind of hard to wrap your head around that. And it feels like you're a victim, like somebody or something did this to you, which then places God outside ourselves. But he reminds us, pleasure and pain come from the same source. And that source is your beliefs about your body and yourself. So recognize that. Both pleasure and pain come from your beliefs. Now, this is not told to you so you can turn and start chastising yourself about believing in the flu. It's just trying to put it in perspective here so we can see it clearly. Verse 4 tells us, what is of love is truth. What is of fear is illusion. The temptation is to see love where it is not, and to not see fear where it is. But your ability to distinguish between love and fear as cause is all that is important now. So once again, this is referring back to the watching yourself, watching how you react when you cling and when you resist, because both of them are caused by fear. So when you cling, you think it's love because it feels good. But as soon as you cling, you've introduced the element of fear. And of course, when you resist, it's because you're afraid. So this is where this work lies right now, this pivotal thing of recognizing that all that we experience is coming from our own beliefs. And anything that's clinging, attachment, or aversion is coming from fear. So he moves then to remind us of the laws of man, which say I must earn my way, pay for everything, and protect what I have. I mean, that's really the stance that we take in this world, is I'm responsible for making things happen the way they're supposed to. I need to earn my way, and I really have to protect myself, my things, and those I love. Those are the laws of man. And over in verse 6, to replace this idea with the idea of there being no loss, but only gain under the laws of love, is to resist the temptation of requiring yourself to pay for what you gain. So we have this mindset that if I'm going to enjoy something, then I'm going to have to work for it, or I'm going to have to suffer for it. That whatever I get, I'm going to have to pay for in some way. And he's asking us to just drop that outdated, ineffective, and not very much fun belief and replace it with the idea that I can't lose anything. I can't. I'm invulnerable. He invites us to practice this idea by repeating these words. I'm safe, and nothing that I do or do not do will threaten my safety. And he just tells us to practice them. Practice the idea. I'm safe. It doesn't matter what's arising in my field right now. Now, where you get caught, where we all get caught in fear, is projecting into the future. What's going to happen to me in 5 years if I don't plan now? How am I going to live? How am I going to retire? How am I going to take care of myself? How are, blah, da, 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 da. And all of it is future oriented. Notice that what he's given us is in present tense. I am safe. And nothing that I do or do not do will threaten my safety. So I can relax. Because in this moment, I'm safe. There's nothing threatening me right now in this moment. I'm safe. And there's no decision that I can make that's going to threaten my safety. Verse 9, as you say these words, you will realize that you do believe in them. You believe, but you cannot imagine the truth of these words really being represented in the life you live here. This you must do now. You must represent the truth of these words with your life. And you are being asked to act as if this were the truth. Now, the reason why I chose this image of this, we would assume a poor man who apparently is living on the streets. I mean, that's one of the things that we fear the most, is that I'm going to be homeless, I'm going to be penniless, and I'm going to suffer. And so we take that fear, I'm not safe, that's going to happen to me if I don't work really hard to earn my way. And we use it to keep ourselves stuck in fear. So we don't really know what the experience of that man is. He may be absolutely enjoying his life at this moment. This may be the life that he chooses, and look at him, he's so relaxed he can sleep in public. I mean, there is that. He doesn't look very stressed out and tense. So what we're being asked to do here is to just live in every moment as if we're safe. He gives us a practical exercise, which he does now and then. And he asks us to look at something that we normally consider to be something we need to do in a day. I should do this, or I should not do this. I should drink lots of water, or I should not eat sugar, whatever. So he gives us the directions. He says, choose one thing a day to do differently. Let go of an old way of behaving to reflect that you've accepted the idea that you're safe. Now, he does say, choose something that won't cause you fear. So don't say, I shouldn't walk down the middle of the street in busy traffic, because that's going to bring up fear in you and not a good choice. Begin with the idea that this will not have any ill effect on your life. So if you say, I should brush my teeth before I go to the store, I mean, that's pretty harmless, right? And you just decide, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that, because that's one of the tenets that I have thought, if I don't do that, I've really lost it. So he's asking us to just start out with the recognition that, yeah, your life is not going to fall apart for doing this, but do it anyway. Remember that all your ideas are to be based on love, and this will help guide you in the exercise. So if I'm telling myself I'm lovable even without my teeth brushed, that's based on love. If I'm telling myself I can interact with people and love people no matter what condition my body is in, that's based on love. So try it and see what effect it has. Verse 12, and the whole point of these exercises to lead us to this. You must birth the idea of having no reason to fear these consequences, no matter what they may be. You must, in truth, birth the idea of benevolence and abundance. So what he's telling us here is we really need to trust in the fact that whatever is arising in our awareness, in our experience right now, is for our own good. And we have everything that we need. That's what we're trying to do, is to have that idea. Everything's good, and I have everything I need. Now he goes to talk about the difference between belief and ideas. A belief doesn't require action, an idea does. So what does that mean? So if I believe there's no loss but only gain, and that's a belief that I have along with the fact that I believe in gravity and I believe in love and my whole set of beliefs, there's no action that needs to be taken if it's going to stay in the realm of beliefs. But he's asking us to move to another level. Remember, we're being asked to move this experience into physical form. And an idea does need action. I'm going to go on reading this section. You are being asked to take action in your life. It is only through taking action on your own ideas and experiencing their truth that you will make the ideas your ideas. You need to test them. So what would this look like in practice? So if I have the belief that there is no loss but only gain, and I don't do anything, it stays in belief. If I have an idea that, gee, if there is no loss but only gain, then maybe I can just love everybody without conditions. Let me do that today. Let me just be loving to everyone I meet today, no matter how they act, no matter how they respond. Let me try it. Let me see if it's true. That's the kind of thing he's talking about. And remember, he's saying it's your own idea. So your own decision about how could I take action on that in the world and test it? Because we are in the age of experience now. We're not just in the age of accumulating a nice fancy belief system. We are in the age of trying these things out and moving in the realm of experience so that we can have this new experience of living as the self, living as a human on this planet. And verse 14 is the last verse of the chapter. To form your own ideas is to be creative. And forming your own ideas happens in relationship. Taking action on your ideas forms a relationship between your physical form and yourself, capital S. As your physical self represents in form the thought or image produced within the self. It is only in this way that the personal self will be able to represent the self in truth. Okay, if you remember back to the slide that we just reviewed with the woman who was sick in bed, and we were told that what was happening was a result of our thoughts. So that's why we create by forming our own ideas. And he's telling us that the ideas happen in relationship. So in the previous example of saying, well, if only loss but gain is true, no loss but gain, and I interact with people on that level no matter what they do, okay, that's in relationship. I'm having a relationship with the other people, and I'm having a relationship with myself. And taking action on your ideas forms a relationship between the character that you thought you were playing and your true self, which is eternal. And that's how we're going to bring the two together and represent the self in truth, by actually testing these ideas that we have and finding out, is this true in the world? So have fun deciding what your exercise is going to be and testing your ideas. I have complete faith that your experience will guide you where you need to be. Thanks for joining me.